whole point of this talk is that you would behold, that you would see Christ. When I started seminary a few years ago, the very first class I took was called Theological Research and Writing, which is basically a class for anybody that wants to write a paper that doesn't sound stupid. In that class, we spent a lot of time on the idea of a thesis statement, how to develop a thesis statement and how to identify a thesis statement. A thesis statement is a short statement that communicates the main argument or point that someone is trying to make. He says, now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of the disciples, which are not written in this book, thesis, but these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. In other words, every verse, every chapter, every story is written to help you behold Christ as he is and not as we would prefer him to be, so that we would believe and have life in him. He says that Christ is the Word who was in the beginning with God and who is God, meaning he is the Logos. He is the Word. I think that can seem odd to conceptualize a person as a word. And we all know what we know about words is that words are a means of communication. Even now, I am using words to communicate God's word to you. The older I get, the more I realize that words communicate ideas, yes, but words have additional uses too. Words help me understand the nature of the person that's talking to me. Words tell you something about the person that spoke them. And that's because if the words you spoke to me were not true, your dishonest words reveal that you're a dishonest person, which means that words have a revelatory function. Bring that up because the whole point of John's letter, remember, is that you would behold, that you would see Christ. The whole point of this talk is that you would behold, that you would see Christ. The whole point of this conference is that you would get back in your word so you can see Christ. So how does communicating Christ as the word accomplish that task? This is how.